I just want to read you a bit more of this article
Please,
because you're
please.
going to love it. Here's the third generation guy.
Yes.
Over time, we learned that video isn't simply about touting the features and benefits of a particular product and thereby hoping for more sales of that product. His matrix is not performance marketing.
Yes.
You're going to love this. It was about content that built relationships and community.
Yeah.
It was about people seeing our personality and going, oh, I like Anderton videos. I think I'll start shopping with them now. Dude,
Right there.
this
Right
guy's
there.
nailed content marketing.
It's the most perfect example. This is, and this may be too good an example.
I've spoiled it for
You
everyone.
spoil it for every small, medium, and
Yeah.
big business, right?
Yeah.
Because this is just an incredible performance. And one of the things I love so much about it is that it showcases that the barriers to entry on content are so low.
Yeah.
They are so low, especially now with TikTok.
Yep.
And more and lo-fi, that everyone wants lo-fi. So
Sure.
it's even easier.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
guys probably started like pre-TikTok.
Sure.
And so the production values, there was a little bit more higher production values
Yeah.
seem to be expected.
Yes.
But now, I mean, the barriers are so low.
Yeah,
right?
they've spent a lot of money on their studio and their setup. That back then was the way to do it because it needed to look good. But to your point,
Yeah.
you don't need to do that
You
anymore.
don't even need to do that. Now,
No.
I think that as your audience grows, I think you do see that,
Yep.
that these channels do improve their production value,
Yep.
and it becomes a competitive advantage, right?
To look better and
and
sound better.
Yeah, to look better and sound better. And look, do you know what? Now that I think about it, you look back at a lot of the old videos of some of the huge creators, and they were garbage production value,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's almost never mattered, right?
No, it's never mattered.
People have managed to build followings and build audience and engage audience
Yeah.
with low quality content.
Also, you always make this point is what happens is you get bigger and you get more well known and your production values goes out and your reach gets wider. That's all great and good and wonderful.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean when you were smaller and grungier and nicher, it wasn't valuable because you might have only had 100 views, but if it's 100 of the right people who are right into the product or the service you're offering,
Yeah.
and they're in your local area or they're ready to buy online or whatever, does it matter?
Yes.
Are you caring? You're going, oh, I only sold 100 $1 million cars.
Correct.
I wish I had 10,000 views. Who cares?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Incredible example, man.
Yeah.
So I'll ask you this: how did they do this? How have they done this?
Oh, I think they have done it. Here's one of the things we talk about it with what we're doing with content with people. They've done it with consistency.
Yeah.
Right? They have committed time and effort and energy and money to it,
Yeah.
and they have kept doing it. They talk about a tipping point that happened, but they didn't start going, you know what, I think this will be the tipping point with the business. They went, what can we do to get our business known? Let's get something out there. Where's there a low barrier? Well, we could just produce some content,
Yeah.
right? And then as it's grown, they've started to realize it, and then they have leaned into it and I'd love to see their marketing mix. I bet you they're not spending a lot of money on TV, radio, press, bus shelters.
Yeah, yeah.
They've said, put our money, our marketing dollar into this. They've made a strategy.
Strategic focus.
Correct.
Consistency over time.
Correct. And they've kept going. This is a perfect example for death to stock.
Death to stock, yeah. No,
They're doing their own.
They do your own, yeah.